Good morning. Oh, well, it's hot as Hades already. Okay, I'm going to talk to you today about a catalog that I have used for many years, and I really like it. It's from Pine Tree. These are people that have a lot of heirloom seeds, which is always a good thing. Because heirloom seeds, I think I've talked about it before. These are the plants that all the vegetables and herbs we have today came from. I'm going to talk today. They have so much stuff in their catalog. It's not just vegetable seeds and flower seeds, but they also have a lot of more natural gardening products, as well as the usual, soil amendments and stuff. Today I want to start talking to you about good bugs and bad bugs. And a lot of the bad bugs that we have today, some start off in the ground. And I'm sure everybody has grubs. Let's talk about grubs. Now, a lot of grubs in the ground, when they grow up, they become beetles. Japanese beetle grubs attack a lot of plants. That's most definitely a bad bug. Now there is a product, I don't know how well this is going to focus in. It's called Milky Spore Powder. And as you can see, you get 10 ounces for $42.95 here. But it treats 2,500 square feet of growing area. Now, this could run you into some cost, but you don't have to worry about grubs and not too much about Japanese beetles for at least 10 years with one of these treatments. So that is an option. Now right here, this OMRI listed. This is what you want to look for. That stands for the Organic Materials Research Institute. Now, anyone who is a commercial certified organic grower can only use products that are OMRI listed. So this is something that you might want to start looking for when you want to do a more natural route with these commercialized products that are out there that are claiming to be organic. If it doesn't have that OMRI stamp of approval on it, I'd question how exactly is it organic, and if the only organic material in said merchandise is water or Epsom salt. You start questioning your labels, because they'll put organic and natural on it, and usually it's the cardboard box that the stuff is in, or the water that's in it. I hope that came out right. Now, another way to help repel your Japanese beetle grubs is geraniums. Yes, the plant geranium. Not only is it a beautiful flower, Japanese beetles do not like it, and the chemical that these plants put into the ground repels their larvae. One thing you need to know about geraniums is you cannot grow them beside or a few years after you have planted marigolds. Marigolds will kill geraniums. If you have a flower bed and you had marigolds in it last year, your geraniums that you plant in that flower bed will not do well if they live through it at all, because marigolds will kill off a geranium. Now you can cut some of the flowers and stems and puree it in a blender. Drain it and strain it. Use that water, dilute it down about 50-50, and you can use that to spray your yard with. You'll have an interesting smell for a few hours, but that will also help repel the grubs and the Japanese beetles from laying their eggs into the soil that will make you have grubs in your yard. Now, another way to help repel or to kill off the grubs in your yard is nematodes. Now, there are good nematodes and there are bad nematodes, just like everything in this world. Nematodes are tiny microscopic worms that are in your soil. The most well-known harmful nematodes is the root knot nematodes. I have spoke of them before. Now, the root knot nematodes do not like marigolds. If you plant marigolds all over in your yard, you won't have to worry about the root knot nematodes for a few years. But like I said, if you have had marigolds growing, you're not going to be able to grow geraniums in your yard unless you put them in a container. Florida has a major problem with root knot nematodes. And fortunately and unfortunately, my yard here does not have them, so I cannot show you the what it would look like when you pull up your plants and be able to tell whether or not you do have root knot nematodes. Florida is not the only place you can have these little boogers. Basically what it looks like, just imagine when you pull some roots or some plants, weeds out of your container gardening, just imagine having the perlite sticking to the root system. It just has these little nodule things on the roots. It makes the plants look sick. You know, it drains them. These worms drain the plants of its nutrients and its fluids. That's a good way to tell above ground whether or not you might have them, to start pulling stuff up to check the root systems. Now, the plants look yellowed, wilted, or it stunts the growth and yields of your vegetables. Now, human nature is we like to do battle with things that we can see before inquiring about anything that we might not be able to see. Beneficial nematodes can be bought. Yes, people do buy bugs. They're called insectuaries. Is where you look for your bugs, if any of you want to go online for this. A less expensive way to go about getting the bad nematodes out of your yard. Now, I don't know how or why this works. All I know is that it does, and that is to apply 3 to 4 pounds of white granular sugar to your yard in the spring before you plant, and then you do this again in the fall after you harvest. I don't know the how or why. All I know is that it does work. Oh, and that was 3 to 4 pounds of sugar per acre of your yard. For your growing area, your vegetable patch, you know, you want to do that same amount, 3 to 4 pounds for every 50 square feet of growing area. You're probably thinking to yourself, well, if I put sugar in my yard, I'm going to have all kind of ants. Well, yes, you will. This is why you want to water it in pretty good after you spread the sugar, or know that it's going to rain pretty soon after you get done applying this. Popping corn, for those of you who have a little bit of acreage and want to grow don't want to lose money on treating your soil, you can grow popping corn. Yes, that is a different variety of corn. It's not table corn. It's corn that's dried and is used for popping. It is most popping corn is a natural heirloom variety of corn. Okay, I think that is about all I need to say. Hopefully in a few more days I will have my compost tumbler up and running, start making some compost so I can get back into my gardening again. I will see you next time.